Good evening. With the Ghana Learner Channel's news in capsule for Tuesday, July 13, 2001, I am Kingsley Bryan. Here's a look at some of the top stories we will be covering this evening. First, we'll tell you that the Ministry of Education received printers that were donated by IT Innovative Solutions. Then you'll hear that Region 1 residents assured of help. Minister Barrett says a return to normalcy is the government's top priority. Also, Diamond Tarmac to become a business hub. It's also to assist in traffic reduction and emission levels of vehicles. Then, the government is inviting partners for the Wales Development Zone project. A $900 million gas to energy project will be very beneficial to that region. And GPHC Cardiology Department gets major boosts with the donation of a brand new ECG machine from the Rotary Club and GBTI. And in news from the region, we'll tell you that the Cayman Islands celebrates COVID success as the island marks 1 year without local transmission. And internationally, COVAX signs deal with Chinese drug companies to purchase $500 million of their vaccines. And now for the news in detail. The proprietor of Innovative IT Solutions, Mr. Somal Sharma, on Monday made a donation of 50 Canon Pixma printers to the Ministry of Education. The Honorable Minister of Education, Priya Manikchand, was on hand to receive the welcomed items. Mr. Sharma, in brief remarks, said that from the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, he has been contributing in whatever way possible to help those in need. He said that he decided to purchase the printers to schools so that teachers can help students who cannot afford to do any printing of their own. Minister Manikchand thanked the business owner for his kind gesture. She said that there are schools that need printers and that the items will go a far way in improving the efficacy of such schools. The education minister said that it is always good when businesses can come on board and contribute to the development of the education sector. Minister Manikchand further iterated that the ministry stands ready to collaborate with businesses to ensure that the education system continues to be enhanced. And in other news, Minister of Natural Resources, the Honorable Vikram Barrett, has assured flood-affected residents of Region 1, Brima-Waini, of the government's commitment to ensuring their lives return to normalcy following the devastating floods that affected thousands nationwide. Minister Barrett made the assurance as he met with residents, miners and loggers at the Mabaruma Primary School at the weekend. The Natural Resources Minister further posited that the government will not forsake the mining and logging sectors, which are traditional for oil. Minister Barrett further added that government has already provided incentives, such as the removal of value-added tax, and urged the residents to work with the government to provide an environment where the sectors could thrive. Meanwhile, Minister of Housing and Water, the Honorable Colin Crowe, Minister of Home Affairs, the Honorable Robeson Ben, and Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, the Honorable Deodat Indar, were also part of that meeting. And in other news, Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, the Honorable Nigel Dharamlal, in a report from the Department of Public Information, has stated that the tarmac being built at Diamond on the east bank of Demerara is slated to become a quasi-market, which allow vendors to ply their trade without causing any hindrance to the ongoing traffic during peak hours. Minister Dharamlal was at the time addressing residents of the community on Monday. He noted that this development will also result in the reduction of vehicular accidents, vehicular emission levels, and transportation efficiency. The $57.1 million contract was entered into by the previous administration and Barden Construction Service for the construction of the tarmac on the southern side of the Demerara Distillers Limited compound, with a length of approximately 125 meters and a width of approximately 65 meters. The project will be executed in 2 phases. Phase 1 will see the placement of crusher run on the surface and will include the construction of concrete drains, bridges, box culverts, waiting areas, toilet facilities, and the installation of lights and garbage bins. Phase 2 will see the application of asphaltic concrete and possible extension of the tarmac across Road to First Avenue, Diamond. The structure is part of a larger project, the India-funded Bypass Road project, which will link the East Bank Demerara corridor to the east coast of Demerara to establish a new highway. Apart from this, Minister Dharmlal said other major infrastructure works will be undertaken in the community to improve the lives of residents. Meanwhile, the government of Guyana has invited interested parties to invest in its $900 million gas to energy project in the Wales Development Zone, or the WDZ. A public notice from the Ministry of Natural Resources states the WDZ was selected as the landing facility for the pipeline, following the consideration of more than 20 potential locations. The pipeline, which would end in the WDZ, will measure some 225 kilometers from the Liza area, where the natural gas is being produced. The project will see the establishment of a gas processing plant and a natural gas liquids facility, capable of producing at least 4,000 barrels per day, including the fractionation or separating out of liquefied petroleum gas, or LPG. The government had earlier noted that a power plant will be established to generate 150 megawatts, with an additional 150 megawatts in a second phase, and that an industrial park will be established to comprise industries that could use gas, steam, and/or electricity. ExxonMobil's local affiliate, Esso Exploration and Production Guyana Limited, has guaranteed the government that a minimum of 50 million standard cubic feet of gas per day, MMSCDF, will be transported through the pipeline by 2024. The pipeline will have a maximum capacity of 130 MMSCDF. And the cardiology department at the Georgian Public Hospital Corporation, the GPHC, was boosted with the donation of a spanking new ECG machine, made possible by the Rotary Club of Georgetown and Guyana Bank for Trade and Industry Limited, GBTI. At the simple presentation ceremony on Monday at the GPHC, Rotary President Ramona Singh explained that in May 2019, the Rotary Club of Georgetown, through a memorandum of understanding with the Rotary Club of Olds in Calgary, Canada, successfully applied for a global grant from the Rotary Foundation. The goal of that project is to advance cardiac care for adults and children in a sustainable way and build capacity in the public health system in Guyana. She said that in 2020, the club received word that the hospital was in need of a specific ECG machine and was happy to lend assistance. GBTI, in good corporate spirit, joined the cause with a matching contribution of $2,500, leading to the purchase of the machine. GPHC's Chief Executive Officer, retired Brigadier George Lewis, remarked that the donation is significant as it showcases the efforts of the private sector in improving the delivery of health care at the hospital and the country at large. Meanwhile, GBTI's Public Relation and Marketing Manager, Pamela Binder, in her remarks, said the bank was happy to lend a hand in supporting the delivery of health care of Guyana and pledged its continued support. And turn our attention now to the world of sports. The Australian bowlers received a sound rebuke in St. Lucia as West Indies wrapped up a series win over Australia in grand style, as the third CG Insurance T20 International bowled its last ball on Monday. The Aussies set a target of 142, which the boys in maroon chased determinedly to score a closing total of 142 from 14.5 overs. West Indian star batsman, former captain, the universe boss Chris Gayle, seemed to be in form as he smashed 6 sevens and 67 off 38 balls. With that showing also, Gayle passed 14,000 T20 runs, the first sportsman to have ever passed that milestone. And in news from the region, as the world continues to grapple with the COVID-19 pandemic for a second year, the Cayman Islands is marking a year without local transmission of the disease. The country, amongst only a handful worldwide, achieved this milestone on Sunday, July 11. After the first case was reported in the Cayman Islands on March 13, 2020, the Cayman Islands has maintained its success in battling the coronavirus through strict border control and travel regulations. Stringent technology-based quarantine measures and rigorous contact tracing have been vital. The Cayman Islands is one of those jurisdictions to have avoided community transmission for this length of time. This would not be possible without the efforts of the government and the public working together to protect the country. we have to continue the good fight by now taking up the vaccines where eligible. And that is according to the Premier, Wayne Panton. The Cayman Islands Government and Public Health Department launched the island's COVID-19 vaccination program on January 5, 2021. And that story was extracted and modified from Loop Caribbean News. And on the international stage, COVAX signed agreements with 2 Chinese pharmaceutical companies to buy more than $500 million of their COVID-19 vaccines by the first half of next year. Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization, Gavi, announced on Monday. Under the agreements, Chinese vaccine makers Sinopharm and Sinovac will begin to make 110 million doses immediately available. According to a news release from Gavi, a public-private global health partnership that is co-leading COVAX, a worldwide initiative aimed at distributing vaccines to countries regardless of wealth. The agreements came at a time when the Delta variant is posing a risk to health systems worldwide, Gavi said in the statement. Gavi has the option to purchase a total of 170 Sinopharm vaccines and 380 million Sinovac vaccines. China's already sent millions of vaccine doses around the world as part of President Xi Jinping's vision to make the country's vaccines a global public good. As of June 30, Sinovac had delivered more than 1 billion doses worldwide. The company's chairman and chief executive, Wei Dongying, said in a statement about the COVAX deal. And that story was extracted and modified from CNN. That's our news broadcast for Tuesday, July 13, 2021. Please join us for a rebroadcast tomorrow morning. On behalf of myself and technical teams, thanks for watching. Please ensure you join us for our NGSA Booster programs and other educational content. Also, remember to observe all the necessary precautionary methods to fight off COVID-19. We're all in this together. Good evening.